spoke about the wonderful friendships that develop in the out of school setting. I remember, and I know Jennifer Moreland, Jennifer Tomlinson shared with you one of the memories that we had of our great adventure up Blue Mountain Peak. Miss Rita led a group of Girl Scouts up Blue Mountain Peak, and would you tell us from your experience, from your perspective, how that that climb went?
That was the first time, was it? That
Yes.
was the one when Lorna was
When Lorna.
plastered out. About a quarter of a mile from the top. Lorna, who had been well ahead, just flaked out completely, and we couldn't bring her to. Fortunately, I had taken rope with me. People asked me why, but I knew I needed to take it. So we were all able to make a rope stretcher, and we all carried her up to the top and got her into bed. And we had a good time, but I think we were all worried about Lorna. But she woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, where am I? And you know, she was fit enough to walk down.
Absolutely.
And you know, the next time I took guides up to the peak, she was the first one up.
I did not know that.
That she was.
Oh. Well, I will tell you from our perspective, we were absolutely astounded at your calm and in fact making it almost seem like you had coached Lorna to fall out so that we could develop the skills of making a rope stretcher and the tenacity to, you know, carry someone that heavy up the hill. Well, not heavy for us at the time. And that calm, that poise under duress has been an example for me in my life, I can assure you, and I know for several other people who we have talked about that trip with. So you might have just taken it in your stride, Miss Rita, but not the rest of us.
I think the thing is, when you're an adult and you have youngsters with you, you have to control your own emotions and just do what is the best thing for the group. And I think that's all there is to it. And I think anybody in a position of leadership, if you're prepared to take groups out camping and hiking, you have to be prepared for emergencies.
That be prepared motto was carried to the nth degree in that particular instance. I also wanted to talk about the continuation of that Girl Scout group. I know Miss Ashmead joined you as a leader. Do you have any other recollections of Girl Scouts after my time?
We got to a stage where we had 4 guide companies in the school. But as people who were being guiders left the school, so the companies died out. Unfortunately, all of them have died out now. They have a ranger group, but the girl guides, as far as I know, they have no company.
Well,
I try to get someone to follow me. But
yes. Well, you know, I'm sorry that the girls there are not having that experience. I know that there are other Mrs. Reed is trying to do other things. But just to follow on, you went on to become the headmistress of St. Andrews, much to our great pride.
Yes.
Please tell us about that a little bit. What did you make you decide to take on that challenge?
Okay. It's not easy, but when Face Orders left, I was praying very sincerely for the right person to come. And I got to a stage where, everybody had said to me, why don't you apply? And I said, no, don't worry. And I had refused everybody who had asked me. And I got to a stage where I felt my prayers weren't going up. And I had to sort of break down one morning and say, all right, Lord, I'll give in. If somebody I respect asked me to take on the job, I will. And the next day, Faye Saunders had come into the school. And she had told me about all the people she had asked to apply for the job. And she looked at me and said, Joan, why don't you? And I said, all right, I will. Will you leave one of my red shoes? I mean, it was a spiritual battle for me to take it on.
I can imagine. It's not an easy job. And I know you would be up to it, but I also know that you had put in a lot of years and a lot of hours in that school.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I love teaching.
yes.
Teaching was my priority.
So how was it being the principal?
Well, the Lord had put me there, and He just guided me. That's all I can tell you. I had peace in what I was doing. I insisted on teaching as well. I still kept on my 6 forms, but I couldn't give up teaching. But it meant I had to go in at weekends and catch up with paperwork. But I just felt I was in the right place. I knew I was doing the right thing.
It's St. Andrews is home for you, right? So during that tenure as principal, though, you took on a big challenge trying to get that school to work in 2 shifts. Is
Yes,
that right?
that was, I didn't take it on. The ministry insisted that we would have 2 shifts and we were to take in more students. So we went up to 1,400 between 2 shifts. Fortunately, Norma Darlington was appointed vice principal and she took control of the 2nd shift. And we managed to work it with an overlap timetable. The timetable was very difficult to make, but we didn't actually have 2 shifts. We had one that started at 7:30 and went on to 2, something like that. And the other one started at the break of so that for one of the sessions, it was a 3-session school. So for one of the sessions, there were all 1,400 on the premises.
That must have been.
And that is when I said, well, we have to have more vocational rooms. It was the vocational rooms that we were short of for having that number. And that is when we built the vocational block.
So you took on construction as well?
Well, let's say Delia Rico, and then Rico took it on.
She was there at the time.
She was in the background helping, okay? And we finished it by the time in 1988 when I was due to retire. And there was a little bit of a hitch in the appointment of the new principal, and I had to stay on for next term. And that was when I met Gilbert. Yeah, that was a challenge.
I know. If you didn't have enough with 1,400 kids at one time. Gilbert, what happened during that time?
Well, Gilbert took off our canteen roof and sent it through the roof of the hall, and took off the roof of the original building, and it took off a lot of shingles everywhere else. But you know, everybody rallied around, teachers, ancillary staff, girls came out every day and we worked on clearing up. And it was a time of really integration for those of us who were there.
Yes, there's nothing like adversity to bond.
We were back in school within about 2 weeks, I think.
But you couldn't use the office building.
Well,
You lost.
we did, you know. We managed. Yeah.
Indomitable.
But we had hard workmen on the premises, and the morning we went to clear up the work, and I said, Miss, we're ready for work. And again, then Rico was very helpful. Came and did an estimate of the damages, and Delia worked with me, and we really all worked together. It's a combined effort.
Yes. Oh, but that is your forte, is getting people to work together. As the story of the chairlift pointed out, it was no easy task getting 6 girls to carry somebody up a hill, but you got us to work together.
Yes.
And I think I will tell you that right now in Washington, D.C., we have a group of girls that you all taught working together on behalf of St. Andrews still.
Good.
So that's
Good to hear.
that's what you engendered in us. So how long did the 2-tiered system last? Was it your entire
Yes.
term?
But I was determined to get them on a 1 shift by the time I retired. So, although my birthday was in January, I had got permission from the ministry to keep on until August. And then I had to keep on until December after that. So that by that time the vocational block was ready. So we were able to go back on 1 shift.
See, and with all 1,400 girls?
Yes.
Why did you think it was so important to get back onto 1 shift?
You
What
don't
the
get the
challenges?
unity in the school when you have 2 shifts, and the extracurricular activities are hard to manage, you know, and 2 shift is just not. Everybody who is on the 2nd shift feels as though they're second-class citizens. They do. If it hadn't been for Norma really sort of motivating them, it would have been disastrous.
Well, you again, I'm sure led her into some excellent work with that 2nd shift, and I'm glad to hear that you were supported, because
Yes.
that is, I mean, we were, oh my gosh, principal of 2 shifts. I mean, it was hard enough from standing back to know how to manage.
It
1
was
shift.
difficult, and it meant long hours.
And you stepped up to the plate.
What can you do?
Okay, I'm going to stop.